What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk the Tundra, your Green Bay Packers podcast that is a proud partner of the Euroset Podcast Network and the Blue Wire family. Dejectedly, I am your host, Numac, and coming to you with the breakdown of the absolutely worst loss of the Matt LaFleur era and possibly of my lifetime, against expectations. Uh, we're here to talk about this loss against the Browns. it's it's gonna be filled with venom. Hopefully, we get a lot of the piss and vinegar out about this atrocious game plan and this offense that looked abysmal, and to vent with me and hopefully share some of your frustrations, listener, is my lovely co-host Jordan Chesky. Jordan, how you doing, buddy?
This podcast is sponsored by Dud Wipes because that would accurately describe
This podcast is
Packers
sponsored by Dingleberry Wipes.
Dingleberry Wipes. You're welcome, America. That's our tagline.
God Almighty, what an awful, no good, very bad game from the Green Bay Packers offense as they lose to the Browns, the formerly 0-2 Browns, 13-10 on a last second kick that didn't have to be. And we'll get to that. But I mean, first and foremost, I guess let's just start with the bad. I we'll start with the worst in the to begin with. Jordan Morgan, like an absolutely god awful day at the office. Multiple false starts in critical situations, getting absolutely housed on every snap, just unable to compete with anybody across the line from him. I'm not like writing Jordan Morgan off because in reality this is his like 3/4 of the way through a seat is like his first season of snaps essentially. But it doesn't matter where you are in your NFL journey. Know the snap count, man. Like there were so many penalties today, specifically on the offense that were just what are we doing? And it cost them big time. Second, what third and 10, I think. Uh, on the final drive, move back 5 yards to make it third and
Mm-hmm.
15.
Yep.
Like, and it just came at the worst spots, and it looked this offense played like they played against the Jets in the preseason game. Nobody was focused.
Mm.
Everybody stunk. Like it was just bad.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say we were trying not to divulge too much pre-pod, but I feel like this conversation has been overdue because we can look at the explosives. We can look at like Jordan Love. I thought played a very good game. He got a cheese from us last week for cheese sakes. Um, but underlying there are were always causes of concern. I think the run game was especially apparent. The offensive line shuffling, the injuries to Zach Tom and Aaron Banks. We'll get into that very shortly. Jaden Reed going out. Like there are things that were always kind of just kind of lurked danger around the corner. And I feel like a lot of the problems set up the Packers and how they approach the game because that's very important. I would say before we dig into the particulars, I felt like one, trying to organize my thoughts as I'm speaking them. I feel like the game plan that Matt LaFleur did today, even with a lot of contextual things as we'll get into in mind, I thought it was abysmal. I thought it was pretty much, it felt like they capitulated too much to how good this Browns defense is, which it is. Let's not mistake this. We learned this firsthand. You're muted.
I said that
Go
on
ahead.
the preview pod that that this defense was really good and this had
Yeah.
potential to be a trap game. I wouldn't even call it a trap game. They just maybe it was. They were just unfocused, but continue.
I just think a lot of the things that they can do successfully, even with the offense not working on or operating on full, like all cylinders, they didn't do any of that today. And there are a lot of reasons why. Like it got worse as the game went on, but it really was just like it's not a matter of the fact that they took the Browns too lightly. I just think that they played such an out of character game, and it started with the game plan. Like a lot of these, I just don't know. Let's before I kind of we'll try to bite it as we come. Like just don't like
My,
not go all
why
over
don't
the
we just go
place.
unit by unit on offense?
Yes. Yeah.
We'll start with the most important position in sports. Jordan Love had a okay day, but just made some very bad decisions that cost them critically throughout the game. 18 of
Yeah.
25, 183 yards, a touchdown and a pick, took 5 sacks. Um, the interception is good defense. It's a pretty bad throw, but
It was a bad throw to begin with, a bad read because he even kind of explained it after the game. It was
yeah,
very like bink bonk, like it was pre-programmed. You know what I mean?
right. He telegraphed.
Yes, he knew where he was supposed to throw. He did not take account of the fact that the person catching the ball was wearing brown, sponsored by Dude Wipes, and not white, sponsored by Acme Packing Company.
And like sure, he's allowed interceptions, right? Like that it's going to happen. It's the bad ones that make you mad. This one couldn't have been timed any worse. They
Yeah.
needed a long drive to put this game away, and he threw one at the most inopportune time to put the Browns in great field position and end up tying the game with the touchdown by Quinshon Judkins. Like there was that the sack in the third to end the third quarter. I was
Yes.
at a watch party with this game, and
Yep.
I see that they're lining up towards the end of the third quarter. I got coming to the end of the third quarter, and they don't have to snap the ball, and they
No, they snap
do
it. They snap it at zero
at zero.
zero zero.
And instead of just going to the fourth quarter and taking momentum there, regroup to figure out how you're going to get a first down on 3rd and 1, they snap the ball. Jordan Love rolls out to his right, 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, doesn't throw the ball away, and gets gets pushed over for a sack to make it 4th and probably 10, 11 yards. Just an abysmal decision. They didn't need to snap the ball. And it's the stuff that like don't get us wrong. Big Jordan Love fans. We think he's very good and has a very high ceiling in this league. The things that make him such a or not bipolar, such a polarizing player and such a polarizing prospect is the decision making. He's got the talent, but the interception was a poor throw and a poor decision. He telegraphed his pass. Not throwing the ball away and snapping that ball at the end of the third quarter is a poor decision. It's the same one as it's the same idea as like the Rams interception last year that we always gripe about because it was so bad. It's like it's just
I forgot about that one.
what is going through your head in these moments. Like you don't need to be the hero. You
You can make
just
the argument. You can make the argument without that play that win the game
without
because
yeah.
they go into the fourth quarter. Say even if they didn't convert that third down, which they were 10 of 18 on third downs today, which is like a pot like preposterous considering that they
Yeah.
lost this game.
Yep.
But they go into the fourth quarter. They would have gone into the fourth quarter with third down. Say if you don't get that, you still kill some time, even if it's a run
10
or even
seconds.
if it's 10 seconds. The Browns would not have been able to
Get that playoff.
get that playoff. The other side note too is that the interception comes after the Browns had to settle for three because 2 plays before that they had a legal chop block that they would have scored. So either way, they were staring down the barrel of either trailing or this game being tied by the Browns, which obviously came to pass. So it's like the whole mantra of play not to lose that they apparently
I
just kind of
hate
walked into.
they do it every time they're in tight games.
I feel like this is the tightest it's ever looked though.
Yeah,
Like it was
they
I
looked
know
tight.
it's I know it's week 3 of an NFL season. It doesn't compare to like how it looked in the 49ers divisional playoff game or
2 years ago.
conference
Yeah,
championship game against Tampa in 2020 or whatever it is. It's
right.
like these things can happen, but it's just like okay, like I mean, think of the Ravens and how people kind of interpret what it means to struggle in the clutch.
Yeah,
It's like that those things just kind of stick with you. And it's like I'm not saying that this defines how we can view the Packers season. Like it's a humbling loss to say the least. But when your offense like I don't think Jordan Love played a particularly bad game for what was in front of him
yeah.
and the supposed playmakers that the Packers are. Everybody kept talking about how they have these playmakers, and there's a lot of reasons why they do have them in theory. But it all it's all supposed to work together, and when it doesn't, these individual elements stand out so badly that again the thing with Jordan Love is that his mistakes get compounded.
Yep.
It starts with the end of the third quarter play to a bad read with 3 minutes to go, essentially in the
Mm-hmm.
fourth quarter, and yeah, and
And
then on top of that, the offensive line
I have stuff.
played like
I have
crap.
yeah, it, yeah. I guess let's move on from Jordan Love because we said we kind of had to say about him. The line today couldn't have been more porous, and it starts with the fact that they
Yes.
decided to play Zach Tom. It is and I'm sorry, Ty, absolutely fucking batshit decision to let Zach Tom play in this game, knowing that he has a torn oblique. And then to let him play 10 days after he tore it, to then subsequently go out on the first play of the game. Matt LaFleur at the end of during this post-game press conference said it was obviously the wrong decision. No, it wasn't obvious. You slick back haired motherfucker. It's an insane coaching decision to go up there and say it was obviously the wrong decision when you know it's torn. The part of the reason there are medical staffs and athletic trainers associated with teams is to protect players from themselves. I'm sure Zach Tom wanted to give it a go because that's the kind of player that we've seen him be. You have a torn muscle in your body. It is not the right decision to go out and play. And if he doesn't practice this week or is limited, like he was limited, maybe somebody else gets his reps during practice and they look a little more prepared for what they need to go into today. Like it's a total systemic failure to let Zach Tom walk onto the field today with a torn oblique, given that he literally re-injured it first play. Like that's not, oh, I just tweaked it and it hurts again. It was one play. He couldn't make it through one play, Jordan.
Yeah.
It's 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 unfathomable to have that decision make its way through the coaching staff from athletic trainer to coach to Matt LaFleur and say, yeah, he can play. It's torn. Like it
Natalie Imbruglia.
it's it's insane. And I don't know if we've seen an update from about Zach Tom. I haven't particularly looked, but if he's out longer term now, that puts the rest of your damn season at risk. He's an all pro caliber right tackle. You punt the game against the Browns because in the grand scheme of things and how it shakes out with how long your season can be, it doesn't matter. It's one game against a non-conference opponent. Like if you're going to lose any game, sure, you don't want to lose to the bad Browns, But if you're going to lose against the AFC team, it doesn't affect standings in your division, doesn't affect standings in your conference. It's just in losing's bad, but it's the game to lose. And if you're gonna have him miss one, have him miss one against the Browns, a team of lesser talent. Like if he misses this week, sure, they throw Jordan Morgan over, they throw whoever over there. That's fine. Let like throw Anthony Belton to the Wolves, throw whoever to the Wolves. Don't let your all pro tackle hurt himself more and jeopardize his season and having missing and to let him miss more time. Like they better be crossing their fingers and praying to whatever deity they want that he doesn't miss a good chunk of that season or of this season. Because as much as Anthony Belton has had a good first two games, he's going to have other good pass rushers to go against, and throwing a second round rookie over the right tackle is a tall order. And maybe they throw freaking Kennard in there, or whatever the hell his name is.
Darian Kennard.
Darian
Yeah.
Kennard. Maybe they throw him over there. They can't play Jordan Morgan at tackle. And that's the biggest thing too. They're throwing Jordan Morgan across the line, and he clearly can't handle it. Like it's and that's not to his discredit either. Like
No,
that's playing four positions on offensive line is hard. Maybe they just stick him at guard, but
maybe the reason why you're playing four positions is you can't play one.
maybe, maybe,
That's alarming.
yeah. And
uh,
and so like, and then Aaron Banks was injured again today. Why are they playing two? Oh, I want to swear so bad. I'm so angry. Why are they playing two critical linemen who were hurt 10 days earlier against a team that was 0-2 that you should have beat the bricks off of? Like I said it myself that this team is good on defense and that it was going to be a hard nosed battle in the preview. It doesn't matter. The long term health of your starting offensive line is more important given the expectations this team has in the postseason.
it's incredibly short sighted. I think we have seen. I'm gonna have three thoughts that will be kind of separate, but will make sense as they come together. It's incredibly short sighted, but I feel like we have seen a rash of these short sighted decisions come home to roost. Zach Tom being one, Aaron Banks being another, who has been clearly bothered from the beginning of training camp by a is it a groin injury, back injury, one of the two.
Back for him in training camp.
Back injury again, something that doesn't really heal very quickly as someone who also has back problems. Um, but Jay Reed, I remember seeing. I think it was Peter Bukowski who whatever. But he had said something about before Jaden Reed actually got hurt, which is the irony of all this, is that if Jaden Reed's foot injury wouldn't be that much of a problem if he was actually playing. So he must have been vouched by the medical staff, and the fact that he had a foot surgery after he tore his
Insane.
or not tore broke his clavicle is like pretty much confirmation that whatever pain tolerance that he was having, um, the foot needed to be addressed. Anyway, so there's that. The other big thing I think is the Packers made the trade for Kennard. Was that days before the Lions game,
Yeah,
right? Or it was after cutdowns,
it
right?
was. It was between cutdowns in week one.
Yes. So, and offensive line coach Luke Butkus, son of Dick,
Yeah, he,
um,
he is butt kissed, dude.
he is he infamously said around Green Bay quarters that the offensive line depth isn't to his liking or something along those lines. I think the fact that they played Aaron Banks and most specifically Zach Tom after trying to leg it out through practice this week, and for him to get hurt on the first play and Aaron Banks to leave the game at halftime after the first half probably speaks to how they view Lyman five onwards.
Yep.
And yeah, I think we can officially be on watch with the offensive line. I to kind of look at it more generally, like other teams have to look at this way now with the Packers, where Micah Parsons is the center of attention and a magnet of pass protection issues, yada yada yada, double teams, triple teams. Packers are doing that plenty on Myles Garrett. However, would it have just been better if you just kind of played him 1-on-1 and let him eat when the offensive line was just getting blown up relentlessly?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know Jordan Morgan, I'm not here to defend Jordan Morgan, but I think he probably would have looked maybe a tad better if he had gone into this game knowing that he was going to start right away rather than like, oh, we just lost our all pro potential right
It's a
tackle.
mindset coming into the game.
Yeah, and that to me is like, again, it's not to excuse how bad he was because he was terrible. Like it was Wolf City, and not because they're played at a stadium that has a dog pound in it. But yeah, it was just Aaron Banks too. Like that was the other thing. We're focusing on Tom. Aaron Banks, like really, he just did not look mobile. There was a lot of caution, and like you could just tell. I would even say this about Micah Parsons. There, when you have a back problems, it shows. Like you're just standing up. You're not really getting a stance. Aaron Banks had a couple of guys. I mean, Myles Garrett included, but even within the interior, that he's just standing up. He can't. He was not moving very fleet of foot,
Shocker.
and it's like that's where it bleeds through with how bad Jordan Love had time today and how the offense looked. And it started with just how the protection would look because it felt like 4 out of the 5 sacks that Love had today. It was there are two offensive linemen chipping on Myles Garrett, and maybe it's Tucker Kraft or John Fitzpatrick,
They had
or
3 on him at one point.
they had three. They had four active tight ends today because of how much Myles Garrett scared the living bejesus out of them.
It came in
And then
scared. Like they came in scared.
that is, and then yeah, and I think that's where I'm not professing to be this, you know, Mike Martz level offensive coordinator OC, but it just was like you don't need to see it over and over again to kind of think like, are you really just would playing him straight up be better than again capitulating your entire pass protection where you effectively neutered your entire offense today? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if we'd even be talking about a win
Yeah.
under that stage, but they they had their chances to put away this game and they didn't because the offense did not look good.
Jordan Love had average depth of target coming into this game of 13.49 yards. His average depth of target against Cleveland today was 1.9. He was
Yeah,
short of
that's a
2 yards. And
yeah,
part of it is because he had no time behind the line.
yeah.
And I don't know if like that was the game plan to get the ball out quick this week and just like dink and dunk the way down the
They
field.
did it in spurts
Right.
today.
And like tell me if I'm wrong. This is like an off. This is a apropos of nothing thought. Does Savion Williams look slow to you? He looked like he was running with a refrigerator on his back today, particularly on kick and punt returns, kick returns.
Maybe I
Like
felt
he
like a
didn't turn the
lot of
corner on either one of his end rounds or his jet sweeps.
the only person that was really doing actually I should say two. The only people turning the corner today were Jordan Love and Matthew Golden,
Yeah,
which is
their longest run today
we'll
was
get in.
from Jordan Love's scramble.
Yeah,
And like another thing
we'll get
on
into that.
Jordan Love, I don't know. I think it was that 3rd and 1 play during the third quarter. It was 2nd and whatever, 2nd and 10 maybe, whatever distance it was, whatever it was. Jordan Love scrambles and slides short of the sticks, and it's then 3rd and 1. I'm almost certain that was the. I'm gonna look at
You
the
keep going. You keep
yeah,
going. I'll
but regardless,
corroborate.
he slides. He begins his feet first slide short of the sticks and doesn't
Yep.
get the first down. So that it's 3rd and 1 leads to the poor decision to snap at the end of the quarter and take the bad sack. He has to know where the sticks are to either start his slide later or dive forward. Like, what happened to Jordan Love putting his shoulder down and blowing up that guy against the Commanders? Like, Do we advocate for him to do that every week? Of course not. We want him to be healthy. But in a critical situation, when the game is as tight as it is, he has to know where the first down is. And it was a blatant, just like brain fart. Like he basically shit himself on those 3 plays because, or on those back to back plays, because that is an important yard to get. He had to get it. Do you need me to tell you, Jordan? Because I'm almost certain that's what it was.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find it yet.
Um, it must not have been, but I it wasn't that particular drive because I'm looking at it now. But wherever it was, he slid short of the sticks, and they ended up punting.
Yeah,
Like it's just not what you had. It was in the third quarter, the beginning of the it was the first drive of the third quarter. Uh 5 yard run from Jordan Love to make it
oh yes,
3rd and 1. False start pushes them to 3rd and 6, and they punt because they Jordan Love got sacked.
yeah.
Like, just get the first down. Know where the sticks are. It just drove me insane. Just absolutely insane today. Let's move on to the pass catchers because, or actually no, let's move on to the run game because I still want to be
Yeah.
mad. I don't know the what the deal with Josh Jacobs is, but it's not good this year. 16 carries for 30 yards. His longest rush was a 7 yard carry. And he was active in the passing game today. He had that nice big catch and run for 31 yards on a screen. That was
Biggest play of
good.
the game.
Biggest play of the game. But like, well, no, Matthew Golden had a his 34-yard catch. Um,
Yes.
but like the run game just isn't good. Emmanuel Wilson was 6 carries for 25 yards today. Like, this is very fantasy coded. But I was afraid of Josh Jacobs this year to draft him because there's always this theory that the year after a big year for running back is always going to be a step back. That was
It's not
like
a year over year
right.
success
It's
rate.
like that was the knock against Saquon like for fantasy. It's like is can he be that bell cow again this year? And for Josh Jacobs, it like that theory is looking to be true because what is going on? He's not like maybe it is the line just not being as uniform as it was last year. It could be that, but I also feel like he's just not. He had one cut today that I said out loud at this watch party. I was like, wow, what a cut! Like made a guy miss in the backfield and just got an extra 3 yards on what should have been a tackle for a loss. It's like he has the ability, but 30 yards, man, on 16 carries. I know they're talented. Mason Graham is talented. He had an absolutely phenomenal day against the Packers today. Myles Garrett, very talented. They have good players on this front line. 30 yards, dog. Like you guys know me. I'm an Emmanuel Wilson stan. He outgained Emmanuel Wilson by 5 yards. He is a more talented back.
This is the most we've seen Emmanuel Wilson all season.
Correct. And I'm pissed about that too because they used Chris Brooks twice, like so much through the first 2 games of the season, right? So much so to where I was like, they're using Chris Brooks a lot. Where's Emmanuel Wilson? Like they're clearly valuing Chris Brooks' pass blocking ability. I didn't see him at all today. Like in critical spots, I saw Josh Jacobs pass blocking, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, are they afraid that they're telegraphing passes too much when Chris Brooks is on the field? Is that really the detriment of having him out there?
You think a good pass protector would have probably helped Jordan Love today?
Yes. Having an extra body in the backfield to pick up the guy that's getting loose by Jordan Morgan every damn snap. Oh my god! Like I just don't understand the game plan, and the rushing game was bad. Everything like was bad. It, like there just wasn't. I would say like arguably the best player today was Matthew Golden, and the thing that made me the most mad, it's like it's not even worthy being mad about, but he gets this beautiful catch over his shoulder. I said it to a guy next to me at the party. I said it to my buddy Mike. I said, Mike, I don't think anybody else on this Packers roster makes that catch. He caught it over his shoulder between strides. He had no feet on the ground. He was in between strides when it hit his hands. And he said, maybe
We'll have to
Christian.
ask Mike for confirmation of this
What'd you say?
anecdote. We'll have to ask Mike for confirmation of this anecdote.
Yeah, because he said maybe Christian Watson. I said maybe, but he dropped
No,
but I said but he dropped
no.
that one against the Niners. That was the same throw, the same or same type of catch. And so like,
Yeah.
great catch, got him out of their own end zone. But then he runs out of bounds. Like his momentum carried him out of bounds. But I
Yet
I,
the
I
the
think that's
clock was still going because of the momentum thing,
right.
which I was like, you
And
could have killed more clock.
I think like he's a rookie. Like right, like that. I don't think he intentionally went out of bounds. I think that's just the way his momentum carried him. But like once he maybe gets his feet under him a little more, that's a 96-yard touchdown, and it should have been a touchdown. Like that just should have been a touchdown. He had plenty of room between where he caught the ball and the sideline, and like if he just gets his balance a half a step sooner, he's gone. Nobody's catching him. It's just like, oh my god, man! It hindsight's 2020. That play lost them the game. Like if they go up 17-3, right? Like they're cooking. They don't got to worry about trying to lose the game.
Yeah.
The Browns have to score 2 touchdowns, something they hadn't done all day to tie the game. Instead,
Yeah.
I'm gonna check play by play now because I want to see what drive that ended on. That might have been the interception drive. Uh, no, it wasn't. No,
No,
because that
I think
was
that's the
yeah.
blocked field goal one.
I think that might be right. No, it doesn't matter. Regardless, anything else? The pass catchers. Romeo Dobbs had a good third down catch today, but like he had a third down drop that was like a hit him in the hands kind of thing. He has to catch that ball, and like I'm not gonna harp on Romeo Dobbs. He's been good this year, but like that's the knock with also ESPN has Dobbs at 2 targets and 2 catches. I don't think that's right.
I don't think that's right.
Um, but just like that's the knock against some of these guys. They just can't. They just don't grab the ball at critical moments, and like that was every moment in this game seemed critical because they just couldn't get anything going at all. And I think to like, do you have anything specifically on the pass catchers before I make a overarching point about this team?
Well, I was just gonna go back to Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
Um, we'll just call it the playmakers. Also, Josh Jacobs was essentially a pass catcher because that's when he was more successful today. It does feel like every good run that he does this year feels like the Chris Paul, like he hits it for three and the Suns are down 32, like that kind of meme. And it's like it's again going back to the offensive line because I really I don't want to be a boring like aging white man that's like knows ball.
Right.
The more we talk about this, they moved on from Josh Myers. They move Ellen Jenkins to center, a move that I don't know if he's particularly fond of. Do we think this has had a greater good effect on the Packers in that they had a stat today that the Packers. I'm framing it from this way: we can't account for the fact that they had injuries occur so early in the season that they
That
will.
was gonna be like my counter.
Yeah, but they are such a established the run team. Like
Right.
their play calls so far this year, it's the balance is 50-50. They showed that during the game. I mean, even today they had 31 rushes, and how many times did Love drop back to pass or at least attempt to pass? 25,
25.
and if you want to count the sacks,
That's
uh,
30.
30. So close to a 50-50 split. It just feels like their interior offensive line has no push.
Mm-mm.
So any success comes on the end arounds or outside the tackles, I should say, which works for a Savion Williams, a Matthew Golden jet sweep. Once upon a time, Aaron Jones. I don't know if that necessarily is the key to success for Josh Jacobs. He's a
God no.
power one cut running back
Through the A gap.
through the A gap. Yes. And it's just hard to see daylight when you have a bunch of bodies in the way that we can see. Oh, if you just gone to this hole, well, we don't know what We know where it's he knows where it's supposed to go, and it's not there.
Yeah.
How much more time do you have to go counter in real time, not by the play
Yeah.
design?
He's not that type of back either. Like that's like a Le'Veon Bell type of like highly touted after skill where you can sit and kind of move your feet in the backfield waiting for an opening and then go. He's not that kind of back.
No. So yeah, it's just again, I think he is my player to watch going into this game because I just think it was gonna be the biggest bellwether for how this offense looked. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back because good God, why I'm not trying to be right when they looked like this. But the offense, it really has flipped where their identity was so embedded into how good Josh Jacobs was last year because of injuries to Jordan Love and the uncertainty from who's going to emerge this game from the pass catchers or whatever pass catcher roulette that you want to play. Now it's like each season's a brand new season. What's in front of you is an offensive line that has been rejiggered game after game through the offseason, even with incumbent guys. So it's all essentially all new except for Rasheed Walker um, and Zach Tom, but if he went healthy.
Yeah.
So it's just, we're all riding the struggle bus watching this offense. This is where, like, the Matt LaFleur offense and the unpredictability that he ultimately wants to play with. You can't be unpredictable or unpredictable when you have nothing to emerge. Like this is where like I just feel like this offense compounds on each other when things just go poorly. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, it does. And I think like my opinion on this offense is that it has again a very high ceiling to be good. A very high ceiling to be good.
Yep.
My biggest concern with it, and this has been a thing since the middle of last year when the offense started to trend downward, is that sometimes they just spin their wheels and you wonder where all of the excitement went. What the hell happened to the play calling? Why does everything look like it's stuck in mud, like they can't get anything going? The like you're not going to score on every drive, right? Like that's just
No.
not how football works. Like the defenses are good too.
Not everybody can be the 2025 Indianapolis Colts.
No, which is like Jesus Christ. That's insane. Let's see. First quarter, 3 and out by the Packers. That doesn't make sense with how this is working with the time wise, but ESPN, thanks for being broken, I guess. I don't know.
The worldwide leader.
The worldwide leader. They have 3 drives in the first quarter. That's not how that went. The timing doesn't match up on the side. Whatever.
Yeah.
According to ESPN, they had uh, a 3 and out punt in the first quarter. That's one. To start the third quarter, that's two. To start the fourth quarter, that's three. The interception, that was three plays. That's four.
Yeah.
I think I heard five today, but again, the worldwide leader is apparently can't do simple play by plays. So, but like, when was it? I think like the example I keep going back to like is like first week against the Lions. They were up big at halftime. Third quarter, it kind of looks like it's stuck in mud. What happened to everything that happened in the first half against the Commanders? Same thing. They kind of got close at the end there. Then they put together a long drive to put the game away, and that was what was happening in the fourth quarter of this game. Like they were ready to go on a couple of long drives. They had gotten a couple of first downs, and then they just shoot themselves in the foot. And it's just like that's where this team's Achilles heel is. They never put the pedal down all the way to beat up on the teams they should beat up on. Like the Baltimore Ravens, a Super Bowl contender through and through, beat this team last week with this like 41-17 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They didn't have any more or less players than they did last week against the Ravens and they did this week against the Packers. What's the difference, right? Maybe it's because the Ravens play the Browns twice a year. They know how to play Myles Garrett. They have more experience playing against this defense, right? But the Packers had an elite offense. I think they were first in DVOA, offensive DVOA through the first two games of the season. Like they
Were
were,
they?
I am either first or second. They were pretty high up there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah.
They were really high. And it's just like, where did that go?
But that is where
They did the second half of the first 2 weeks for the entire game this week, where it's like, what happened to the offense? Where did
this is where
everyone's brains go? And this
it
is the reason I think they are Super Bowl contenders. That this defense is too good, and we'll talk about the defense and be happy for a little bit in a moment. But this offense is what holds them back sometimes. When's the last time, Jordan? I'm gonna look when you make your point. When's the last time we've seen this team like really beat down on a team they should? The game that comes to mind is the Saints game, and even then, that game was ugly.
and
Like,
I
when's
mean,
the last?
I was at that game too, so I could vouch that it was there's a lot more me on the boat. I would say the Seahawks game because that was just it felt like a very dominant, complete performance.
Sure, but like, did they? I don't think they scored 40 points.
I think I want to say the score was like 34-13.
30-13. 34 to
30-13.
0 was the Saints game, and that felt
Yeah,
like they left meat on the bone.
there was a lot of meat on the bone because
And like,
they were swinging for the fences with
and
that
like,
offense that
I
night.
well, I could, and again, 40 is a high number, right? But you're gonna face some bad teams in this league. They scored 38 against the Bears week 1 of 2023. Like during that beatdown.
And that was a uh, aided by at least a pick
A
six
pick
or
six by Quay
defensive.
Walker, right.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like I'm going back. The last time they scored 40 points was the last Rodgers season against the Vikings. And like
The Keyshawn Nixon.
I think so. It must have been it was the second they needed to win.
Yeah.
They needed to win out to get in the playoffs, and they lost to the Lions in the last week.
Yep.
But it's like I just want this team to put the fucking pedal to the metal. Just put it down. Don't take series off. And like that's where they let these teams get back into it. It's how they let the Commanders get back into it. Like the Lions game wasn't particularly close, but the score got closer than you'd like it to be towards the end of the game for the sole purpose. It was 27-13. It didn't have to be that close, but they scored 10 points in the fourth quarter. They scored 0 in the third. It's just like come on, man. And that's where I get nervous. It's just that are you going to have these types of games when it matters? And at least Jordan, that this game happened week 3. They got punched in their face by a defense that was they had to prepare for against an offense that they should have been running laps around. But they had the reality check. Rasheed Walker got humbled very heavily after saying they're going to go undefeated, telling Rob Dombrowski, according to Matt
That's why you
Scheidman,
don't boast going 10-0.
right,
Yeah.
shut up. I still stand by it. But like, it's just frustrating because this is their reality check. At least it happened now and not in 20 weeks when they're playing in an important game. But we've always talked about how this is a young team. They got humbled today.
Yeah.
Hopefully the coaching staff can do their flipping jobs and point to this game and say, "Do you want to feel like this ever again?" Where the whole league is laughing at you, where you have you fumbled this game away, literally and figuratively, on the road against a team that you are better than. And if they can motivate the guys to use this as fuel for the rest of their season, that's a good thing. Then all of this hand wringing and venom that I have in my body right now will be for naught. But god damn it, does it feel bad right now? Because
It's
they
a,
should have beat the bricks off this team.
um to borrow a famous phrase throughout Bucks lore. I think this offense is play random up to the yin yang.
It's not though. They have
It
like
it
scheduled play.
is.
I disagree. I think that they I think
Mm.
the it's not play
John
random.
Fitzpatrick. John
Nope.
Fitzpatrick was the lone beneficiary of a touchdown today.
I don't care. That's Jordan. We talked about that when they made roster cuts on that they like having multiple tight ends to leak out on blocks and such. Like that's an entirely separate conversation. I do not believe that this offense is play random like it is with Caleb Williams it was last year. That was a play random offense. This is a play calling random offense. Like I don't like I think it's more of a Matt LaFleur. Sometimes this is going super overboard. Covers his eyes and points at a fucking play on the sheet. That's how it feels sometimes. When the offense is
Yeah,
really stuck in mud, it feels like he's throwing darts at the play sheet and picking the play that way. When it hums, everything flows. It's
but
multiple runs
that's
of 5+ yards. It's play action building off of that. Deep shots on first second down when they can do it. When it's not, it's like he's playing pin the tail on the fucking donkey.
that's what I'm meaning though. Is that it's their offense when it hits their ceiling is going for deep shots. It's why Jordan Love has the highest average depth of target of any quarterback in the NFL this season. It's essentially hitting threes. It's going down the lane and going for slam dunks. It's all like the fun highlight level plays that keeps it going. But the underlying stuff when it starts to crumble is that there when we talk about I hate that we have to keep defining what a number one wide receiver means. But it's like when you have all these options and you can't turn to just one player to be like, that person is going to give me this third down. And they had a lot of third downs that they converted today. Or like, this guy's going to win this ball. This guy's going to win this play. It's like it's about knowing what you have because I just feel like it's a team sport. We glom onto the playmakers because one, it's a fantasy based how we look at everything now. Everything's so based in numbers of like that guy had a terrible game because he underperformed his fantasy level or whatever it is. But I just feel like this roulette of like trying to get the ball to Matthew Golden, trying to get the ball to Romeo Dobbs. Again, when they start to pressure up, clam up when it's a tight game, they have to it just feels like they're turning over knots to try to find like is it you or is it you, and it's like again you have all these options and you still don't have one that emerges. I'm not saying that the other way is perfect either. That's part of the like this conundrum of trying to find how it all works together.
Yeah.
But it is just it leads to games like today where it starts like we really should have been. I think we're aware of it, but when Tucker Craft, like the late week scare of he got
Tweaking his
injured,
knee. Yeah.
he's in doubt to play. He looked fine today, but he
Yeah.
clearly was like we were
Wasn't.
thinking of like
Yeah.
after last week. It was like, oh, this is the
This is his
next performance.
breakout performance, and he's gonna keep doing it again. A guy that had I think 3 targets today.
Yeah,
Double checking. Uh, 4, 3 catches for 29 yards.
a modest game.
Yep. But yeah, it's fine. So, and I'm not gonna get into like this argument, like, because like I see where you're coming from. I
Yeah,
don't think that's playing random, but like I see where you're coming from. I just think that's not what I would call it. But
gotcha.
I don't want to have that conversation right now. Do you want to talk about the defense because they played well today?
Yeah,
Shout
I
out.
think we should also one other thing I want to note not to belabor how bad the offense was. Seven
We've belabored it for 50 fucking minutes. I'm sorry, listener, if you don't
is that
like.
true?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, listener, if you don't like swearing. I will do my best next episode to stop swearing. I'm just upset, so please forgive me, and I'll say my Hail Marys and my Lord's prayers.
Um, but seven fourth quarter penalties. And if you want to count eight because Keyshawn Nixon was offside on the game winning field goal, you can. That's offensive defense combined.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Before we get to the defense, the refing today was also awful. Like
It
it
was
was
pretty
really
today.
bad. There was a
I
hold
think
on Nixon
he
in the end zone.
signaled.
No way in NFL standards is that a hold anymore. Like it was
Yeah.
just it was bad. It was bad. And I told you I was watching this game at a watch party, and I don't know what it was. They were on defense, and they called a hold on Javon Bullard, and they point towards the
They
offense.
pointed the other way.
But I
Yep.
didn't have the sound. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And then he went to the other way. I
The
said,
other way.
damn it.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about the defense. Rashawn Gary, man, he's benefiting so much from just the presence of Micah Parsons, who had a okay game. But Rashawn Gary, 2 sacks today. I'm so mad they didn't get after this geriatric quarterback more. Like, they couldn't finish sacks. He was like escaping the
That Joe
pocket.
Flacco was playing farm aid today.
Dude,
Like that's he was moving around as well as Willie Nelson, 92
dude,
years old.
dude, he would lumber outside of the pocket and just escape sacks. Like, what are we doing?
A walking 2x4. And
But
he won a game.
he won a game. But like Rashawn Gary, 2 sacks today. He played very well. 3 QB hits. Um, they held this team to 13 points, 10 points through 59 minutes and 58 seconds. Like, that's good. They should have won this game. And like I thought Javon Bullard was having a good game today until he got hurt. I saw him on the ground hurt. I didn't see the play that he got hurt on, so hopefully he's okay. I guess
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Wyatt hurt his knee in today. That's not good.
I did not know that. That sucks.
Yeah, that's not good. Quay had 14 effing tackles today.
Yeah.
That's insane. But no one else had more than six. Like, come on, man. It's just like they were like even Quinshon Judkins had a good day on the ground. He had uh 18 carries, 94 yards. A lot of that didn't come until the fourth quarter.
It was literally the last two drives.
And like that's just they held him in check. The the longest play they had on offense was his 38-yard run. After that, it was 17-yard catches by Jerry Jeudy, his one catch, and Isaiah Bond, who I didn't even know they played on one of his two
Yeah, he was
catches.
out there a lot.
So it's just like, golly, I like I don't even think Keyshawn had a bad game. Carrington Valentine had a bad penalty, whatever. But like, I thought they played perfectly fine. They played how they want to play, and I don't even have like a lot to say about the defense because what else do you say? They held this team to 10 points through 99% of the game. They let up a 8-yard pass when they absolutely could not do it, and that's half of what lost them the game. Like maybe a tenth of what lost them the game, not half, because penalties ruined them way more than that play did, and the offense didn't pick up their weight.
Yeah, that is the ultimate thing. Is it's all symbiotic. It's a yin and yang. And when one end is pulling too much and the weight is falling on the other to hold up, it's like it's going to come down like a house of cards eventually. So this defense is not like impenetrable. We have seen them allow late game fourth quarter scores against the Lions and the Commanders going into this game. And even then, like the Browns had a couple of explosive runs. I mean, Judkins got free late in the game, but defense did its part. The Packers should still win NFL games when they allow 13 points to their opponent.
Any
It's that
NFL team
simple.
should win that game when your team scores 13, when the other team scores 13 points.
Yeah.
13 points is not a winning total. It just
No.
isn't.
No. This is not 1947 anymore.
No.
And we're not playing double wing. Newt Rockney is not around, you know. Yeah, we talked so much about the defense the first 2 weeks that it probably feels more than fair to talk about the offense today in full.
Yeah.
But we definitely, I mean, Rashawn Gary was a beast. Edger Cooper, I didn't think was as effective. I thought he was kind of, I mean, probably it's not a coincidence that he was a little bit out of range of plays when
Yeah.
a lot of attention was going to the tight ends like David Njoku, Harold Fannin, um, things of that nature. Um, but yeah, just I thought Nate Hobbs I thought looked good. He had a
Yep.
couple good plays. Like they had the intensity. They had
The
Micah
defense had
Parsons
the
had like
intensity.
Micah Parsons had a B plus game for what has felt like a level season so far. But and I think he still had 8 pressures for the season or for today?
My super hypercritical gripe that shouldn't be said, but I'm gonna say it anyways. He said this last after the game last week that he wants to be off his snap count, and
Oh
then
yeah.
halfway through the second half today, he goes to the bench and he's on his knees, huffing and puffing, like catching his breath. Like, brother, that's why you're on the snap count. Your conditioning is not up to par to play the
No.
entire game. And I'm not like critical of Micah Parsons. He's been great. It's just like
Okay, Jerry.
this is why we're shut up. This is why you're being eased into things. Like
Yeah.
like trust me, Micah. The Packers and all of us fans want you to play too, and I'm like just as bad, or not more than you do, but just as bad as you do. It's a process, and I can't speak to whether or not like how winded he was at the end of the game, if that was a factor at all. But when they look over him at the sideline and he's on his like in a crouched position catching his breath, like yeah, you're clearly just not quite ready to be
They're
playing
at
in full
least
game yet.
they're at least exhibiting medical caution with Micah Parsons, which is nice.
Which is nice, unlike their lineman, which is a equally important position. But what do
Yeah.
we know?
I mean, the other thing too, like again, this is offense is going to bleed into this. Packers had the ball for 34 minutes. Like the time of possession really was so one-sided until the Browns stacked the last two drives. And even then, that was what less than 5 minutes to go in the game.
Hmm.
Like they didn't score their field goal until it was like under 4 minutes.
Right.
That's what's so crazy about this collapse is that it was literally minute by minute
Yep.
where Browns get the field goal, 4 minutes left.
I felt good with 4 minutes left. I was like, this offense has done nothing all day long. Like, what are they
Could
gonna
have
do?
even felt. Actually, I wouldn't say you could have felt good after the
I felt fine
possession
up
there.
until the field goal, or no, up until the Josh Jacobs fumble. Like that's where I was like, they're gonna give this game away. Like they're gonna
Yeah,
find a way to lose this, and sure enough, they did.
they're looking for to hand out this lawsuit.
Also, to stay being mad. I don't know who it was, if it was Judkins or if it was Fannin or I forget who it was. Somebody had a breakaway uh, run today because the same thing I told them that would bite them in the effing ass last week came to fruition. This team is so focused on generating fumbles because that's what they wanted to focus on training camp and punching the ball out that it was a run up the right side of the field, top of your screen essentially. I think it was in the fourth quarter. Rather than gang tackling like they have through the first 2 weeks, they got there one by one and tried to punch out the ball versus trying to make a tackle. And the ball carrier like went through and kept breaking tackles and got a first down.
This vaguely sounds familiar.
It happened. I watched it. I got
Oh
mad.
no, I know. I'm not doubting it. I'm trying to remember who. Like, yeah,
I don't know who it was, but it's just like,
might have been Cooper.
oh my word! It just drove me insane. Like I understand that generating turnovers is an important aspect of football. Well, I'm not gonna get into the Xavier McKinney interception that he should have batted down, but you can't prioritize getting a turnover by forcing fumbles when it's in like this situation. Like it's not like it's the fourth quarter. Just tackle the guy and don't let him get a first down. Like
Yeah,
there's times and places, and they're just not good at it. The Browns defense, I don't know who forced it. I can look quickly if someone forced a fumble.
the
Uh,
Jacobs one.
yeah, I don't know who it was, but
There's a lot of
whoever
um,
forced that fumble on the Cleveland defense
there's a lot of UPS suits
goes
too.
in there and punches it out. That's what you need to do.
Yeah,
It's just like they just aren't good at it. I don't know, but that it just everything I said about them focusing on forcing turnovers and getting the ball out came at the came to fruition at the worst time where they prioritized it and they just needed to tackle. Like and tackle like they had the last 2 weeks. It's just it was just frustrating.
yeah.
Uh, Final point: Rich Bisaccia needs to get his ass out of town. I'm so sick of special teams. It hurt us again today. Like the Daniel Willen had a good day punting, but they can't block. They can't block. It's just not good, man.
It's so funny to read. I'm not, it's one of those funny because they lost, but it is just like, yeah, Shelby Harris, he's blocked the most field goals in the NFL since he came into the league 10 years, more than 10 years ago. We know how he's really good at it.
They
He's really
said
good at
this
it.
post game,
They said this, and they still,
and
it's
they
still
still let
like
him block the. Oh
it's
my
the other
god, man!
side of when Carl Brooks blocked the field goal last year in the Bears win, their only divisional win last year. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, we saw it on film and that's what we went for.
Yep.
And it was almost similar. It's like it's gonna happen right not over center because you can't do that anymore, but like a smidge to the left or a smidge to the right. And it's like you can't even your your pass protection is so bad that it affects your um ability to block a field goal that I don't think it was even a gimme either because it's a tight spot. McManus is certainly tested. It was also a wet field because it downpoured for like 10 minutes and it was like all like sunny like after. So
Yeah.
it the elements weren't necessarily pure. I say that and Cleveland won on a game-winning field goal from like 55 yards. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, like it is just like Rich Bisaccia has emerged as this powerful force of like he's the associate head coach or whatever the title is. He's like he brought in Keyshawn Nixon. He brought in all these guys.
He
It's like
brought in Keisha
yeah, remember
Nixon.
the other guys that he brought in that they just like yeah we have to cut them.
They suck. He brought in Keisha Nixon, and that was a not fool's gold, but it was
Diamond in the rough.
sure, a diamond in the rough, a exception to the rule. Nobody has LC has brought in has been good.
Dallin Levitt, more like Dallin leave it behind because I
Yeah,
don't know where he's playing now.
nobody else has been good. Nobody. They like Savion Williams is fine returning kicks. They can't find a flippin' punt returner. Like
They're gonna kill Matthew
they're gonna
Golden.
kill
I'm
him.
not. I'm not. I'm genuinely not trying to will this in. He had. There was a punt. We're really nitpicking. I know we
Yes,
are,
we
but
are.
like it was. He let it go, and it got downed on the two. It was late in the game,
Yeah.
which they were actually moving the ball on that drive,
Yep.
which I believe is the blocked field goal drive.
Yeah.
But it was just like not what you want.
No.
Not what you want.
Have you seen listener, this is a deep cut if you're not aware of like New York talk radio. Um
I think I know
Jordan,
what
have you
you're
seen the Mike Francesca or not Mike Francesca, the Don LaGreca
Yes.
rant where he talks about the Mets not having forever players?
Yeah.
There is a there is a line he shouts that whenever I hear it I just laugh. It's he goes, they killed Gil Hodges.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of when you said they're gonna kill Matthew Golden.
It is just
And
like
then Mike K goes, they didn't kill him. He died on a golf course. Oh, but like they just can't find a good punt returner. Figure out somebody to do it. Like the punt returner's got to be a dime a dozen from college, man. Like I don't know how they haven't brought in that unrestricted free agent or undrafted free agent
they
to
have an open roster spot right now.
I know, just figure out someone to do it. Don't kill your first round receiver. Oh my god, man. I don't even feel better. It's been an hour of us talking through this, and I don't feel better.
No, because it's terrible. It's the worst.
It's the worst loss of the Matt
The
LaFleur era.
biggest favorite to lose a game so far this season.
7.5 point favorites, and they 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 barely scored that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. On the Dallas, and the way the Bears beat up on Dallas this week, I want
CeeDee Lamb has an ankle
has an ankle
injury.
injury. He tried to play through it. He'll be out a couple weeks for sure, unless they have the Packers medical staff treating him. But I want blood in Jerry World, man. Like I want I want them to salt the field when we leave, so nothing can grow there ever again. That's how bad I want retribution for how shitty this week has made me feel.
Well, they'll have plenty of motivation to get right.
They better. So, all right, Jordan, let's end this misery. Anything else?
Are you done with the Aryan grievances? Have you grieved enough?
No, but I
No.
don't. I don't feel like relitigating everything else because we've said it all already.
No, we're all eating humble pie.
We're all eating humble pie. That's a great way to put it. There'll be one cheese this week, possibly two, because we might handle our first Lindberger.
Oh, I think we do.
I think we do. I
I think we do.
no, we gave Joe Barry one. I think, if I remember correctly.
We might have, but I think
This is the first player.
Lindbergh's. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did we?
I'd have to go back through the
LaFleur might have gotten a Lindbergh at one point because this. You know what this reminded me of? This loss.
Saints
It
game,
reminded me the
just
Saints game.
when they lost 38 to.
No, no, because they had no dog in that fight. It reminded me of the week 2 against the Falcons in 23. Love's first year
Oh
started.
yeah, when they lost.
Yeah,
That was week 3, I think.
that was when AJ
That was
Dillon
week 3.
got Jenkins hurt.
Yes, I'm almost certain that was week 3 because it was post Saints game.
No, because it was after they won the first game. Week 3 was the Saints because they won,
It was
and then
23.
Love's. Yeah,
It was week 2. Yeah, because they started.
they beat the
They
bricks off
started.
the Bears
They started 2 on the road.
because the Bears were like, we're taking it over.
Yeah, that is what in fact what happened. All right, man. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Is this the worst loss?
No,
We're
no.
not counting. We're
I
not
was
counting
gonna.
playoff
I
losses.
was
We're
gonna
not counting
say,
playoff losses.
no. This is not the
The
worst
worst is
loss.
this the worst feeling of the podcast era of your
Oh, for
Packers
sure.
fandom?
For sure. This is the worst. Like, just because, again, it's expectations, right? Like, 23, first year, starting with Jordan Love. We were just going to kind of go for the ride. Everything was gravy, right? The Falcons loss stunk. Like, it
Yeah,
stunk, but they looked fine. And that wasn't the offense's fault. It was the defense's fault. Something we know had been a problem. Like, I don't even, like, nothing else really hurt that bad because they didn't really have a whole lot of expectations. And the bad losses were against good teams usually. Like the lion like both like all the Lions losses, those were against good Lions teams, you know? Like the Bears loss last year didn't feel good, but it wasn't like they didn't play Jordan Love half the game and it was
it's week
like 18.
18.
Yeah, this is for sure like probably the most sobering,
Miserable.
like yeah, miserable loss that we've had to podcast about.
That didn't. Yeah, yeah. That just straight up lost. There were. I mean, we'll count Zach Thomas injury, but like we weren't talking about Jordan Love getting hurt on the second last play
Right.
of the game.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty terrible.
Pretty bad.
Pretty terrible. Don't play with your food, folks.
Don't play
You
with your
might
food.
choke.
So, all right, folks. I hope it helped you, you listener, you Jordan. But we'll be back in your podcast feeds on Friday, Thursday, 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 Friday. You'll get a notification because you're a good loyal listener who subscribed and gets notifications, everything like that. And you also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk the Tundra, where you're getting all the notifications of there. You're probably listening twice to it, once on your podcast platform of choice and YouTube. Who am I to say though, if you are a good listener or not? Be back in your podcast feeds later this week for the preview of the Cowboys game. Check out all things Bucks over on Eurostep with Ty and Rohan. All things GSPN. If you want to join our Discord to revel in the misery and the happiness during wins with some more Wisconsin sports fans, GSPN.info in the about section. There is a invite there if you'd like to join. Appreciate you all listening, especially the new crop of you that have been listening since the beginning of the season. We appreciate it. Hopefully you're listening now through this loss as well. Um, Let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about, or if there's anything you think we missed or anything like that. Just let us know. We'd always appreciate the feedback. Again, thank you for listening. And Jordan, buddy, thank you.
Thank you.